If you are a peruser of the TikTok or Instagram, you've probably already seen this hack. You might have even tried it. Today I'm going to show you how to make a wrap using 3 ingredients and a few seasonings tossed in for flavor. It's the viral cottage cheese flatbread. But where this recipe differs than some of the other recipes that are out there is that this recipe for this wrap makes it really sturdy and it doesn't fall apart. Plus, my secret ingredient adds flavor and makes it taste better too. The first ingredient you're going to need is cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is just really having a moment right now. But it's one of those ingredients that some people actually don't like. But I'm going to need you to trust me on this right now because we are going to completely transform this curdling, goopy, creamy stuff into something delicious. I add in 8 ounces of cottage cheese and try to get the full fat cottage cheese. This is the brand that I use, but my store only carries the low fat version, so it's what I have to use. 8 ounces of this stuff gives 28 grams of protein and only 6 carbs. Since it's so high in protein, it's one of the reasons why cottage cheese is so popular right now. And the fact that it can be transformed into so many different things like ice cream, pudding, wraps, pizza. Next comes my secret ingredient that is going to make this wrap extra sturdy. But before I share that, let's take a hydration break and sip some of my favorite electrolytes, Element, who is my sponsor for today's video. Element is my go-to electrolyte drink mix for making sure I'm at peak hydration during this scorching heat wave that we have been having. It seems like every day for the past month has been in the upper 90s or 100s. And my Pacific Northwest bones can't handle that heat. I'm very, very temperature sensitive. Like one day a few weeks ago, my youngest had a baseball game and it was in the upper 90s outside, full sun. And I was sweating and keeping score, which if you've scored on Game Changer before for a traveling baseball team, you know how stressful it can be, especially if you mess up. You have to be dialed in and focused as a scorekeeper. I could barely get through the game because I was sweating and just really started to feel the effects of low electrolytes and dehydration. And after the game, I felt like I was gonna pass out. Thank goodness I had some Element with me with its 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. It only took me about 20 minutes to just get my energy level back and feel like a brand new human. This stuff is my savior. And it's so easy just to toss a couple of packets into my bag and take them with me because you never know when you might sweat like a pig during a baseball game. Right now, Element is offering my viewers a free sample pack with any order. This is a really good way to try some of their flavors to see which ones you actually like. To get yours, just go to drinkelement.com/KetoFocus. Back to my secret ingredient, it's Parmesan cheese. A 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Not only does this give the wrap delicious flavor, but it actually helps to help hold it together. Some recipes just rely on the 2 eggs that you add, which we do add those too. But I found that the parm is the key. I also like to add some other flavor enhancers like 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. It's not required, but I think it helps. After a quick pulse until it's all smooth and creamy, we pour this onto a parchment lined baking tray. And I love how thick this is. You want to spread it out from edge to edge and then give it a good old tappy tap on the counter just to make sure that it's of even thickness. You don't really want one side to be thicker than the other because it's going to bake uneven. We're going to bake this in a 350 Fahrenheit oven for around 35 to 40 minutes and then allow it to cool completely before removing it and making your wrap or pizza or whatever you want to use it for. Cooling it is also a crucial step just to make sure that it doesn't fall apart. I'm going to turn this into a wrap, but you could also use this as a crust for pizza or maybe make a burrito with it and then roll it up. And I know it looks like the edges are cracking, but inside when we cut it, it is perfection. Totally sturdy. If you want to see what else you can make with the cottage cheese, then click right here because I use it in a few of these high protein recipes here.